Uruguay football has seen some unrest, with one of their best, Luis Suarez, casting aspersions on the national coach pulling the team down. But guess what? Fans in the South American country are doing their best to keep Uruguay and football in the news for all the wrong reasons. The culprits of the recent football violence to rock South America are fans of the Uruguay-based football club Peñarol. Over 200 Peñarol supporters ran riot in Brazil's capital, Rio de Janeiro. This ahead of their side's semi-final match against Brazilian club Botafogo, a tournament, the Copa Libertadores Cup. Now, those visuals there, that doesn't look like a group of football fans coming over to just watch a good game of football and support their club. It felt like they came with a vendetta to ruin the city. Security officials say that fans were involved in a series of acts of vandalism, looting and destroyed public and personal property, which resulted in a massive brawl erupting between these away fans and many locals who were just bystanders before the mob rained in on the city.
During such an important event, that is football in Brazil, especially in Rio de Janeiro, we see such a scene like animals fighting each other in the middle of the street, putting people's lives at risk. Rio's residents leisure the beach, destroying workers' property at the beach, that is unacceptable.
Instead of supporting or cheering their side, they decided to go rogue, eventually leading to this rowdy mob being detained. They ended up not even watching the match. Security officials later said that the scuffle turned ugly as many of these rowdy fans indulged in racist acts that incited a full-blown fist fight.
If you get off on a beach and make a gesture insinuating another person as a monkey, that is absurd. It is unacceptable. This by itself should be harshly reprimanded. Their behavior when getting off the bus and doing that caused the locals to revolt.
The matter didn't end there. When the police tried to intervene to break up the clash, Peñarol fans did not pay any attention to that, combating the cops as well. And that lasted more than an hour. It went on till the police eventually managed to arrest at least 200 Uruguayans. But this is just one side of the story. Why did the violence begin in the first place? The Rio police feels the tipping point for the Peñarol supporters came when an Uruguayan fan was arrested for stealing a cell phone. This seemed to have angered the rest of the supporters, and this isn't, though, the first time Peñarol fans have engaged in such behavior. The supporters of Peñarol collided with police on the very same beach before a game against Flamengo last month. The biggest conflict, in fact, was in 2019. A Flamengo supporter, in fact, died during a clash between Peñarol and Flamengo fans in Rio. So safe to say, the Peñarol fans have been repeat offenders. Now, the club wasn't penalized for their fans' act, but this incident affected their team's preparations. The bus carrying Peñarol's team to the Nilton Santos Stadium was also attacked, delaying their arrival to the stadium by 2 hours at least. Now, based on what we've heard and seen, we do not know who attacked their bus, although the Peñarol club president was quick to point fingers at their rival club supporters, Botafogo.
They brought us at a pedestrian pace for almost 2 hours. The place where they put us, the stones they threw at us, they put us in the middle of the corral. Everything was set up. They had Botafogo supporters in the middle to delay our transfer. Today, nobody really controlled anything.
Because of that, the start of the match, of course, was also delayed more later than what it was scheduled to start at. And needless to say, the players were shaken. May have contributed to the humbling 5-0 loss that they ended up suffering in the game. There's a reason why many countries like Cyprus, and I'm quoting a recent example here, are trying to stop away fans from traveling for games within cities. But this is, of course, on a smaller scale. The violence in Rio by Uruguayan fans gives the whole scenario a very grave outlook. And what about punishment? And just a while back, we saw Atletico Madrid fans being disallowed from their team's upcoming 5 matches thanks to their racist and unruly behavior during Atletico Madrid's games against Real Madrid and Benfica. UEFA and Spanish Football Federation punished the club and the fans. They showed there are consequences that not just the fans but also the club had to bear the brunt of. And this violence here was more in Rio was more catastrophic, putting the security and safety of locals in a city at stake. Peñarol is already trailing final in the Copa Libertadores Cup, the second leg of the semi-final of which will take place in Uruguay. And Brazilian football fans would travel for that second leg in a week's time. Will Uruguay's Peñarol fans be just as hostile as hosts?
Firstpost decodes the U.S. election, explains how America chooses its president. Your primer on the race to the White House. Everything you need to know about how America votes and its global implications. U.S. Election Explained, every Monday and Thursday only on Firstpost.